What's up, guys? Welcome to Sunday Stock Study. Um, I really don't like the name of it, man. I had to think of something on the fly when I started doing this, and it's I don't think I really like it. So we're gonna have to think of something better name. So if you got any suggestions for the name for this on Sunday, is what we do. um, you send me some comments and let me know. Also, if you guys, I see a lot of you guys, watch the replay on this. I could see the analytics. I could see you guys are watching this. Shoot me some feedback. There's no way that I can't improve. I can improve if you don't, give me some feedback. Give me some comments. Subscribe. Turn on some notifications and let me know. What kind of topics you want to hear. But gonna give it a second, so see if anyone joins us today, and we'll jump right in. All right. All right, so we'll go ahead and just start here. So for the people that want to watch later, they can watch later. Today we're going to talk about reflection and some other things as kind of my topic. My trusty sidekick, Blessed, I don't know what exactly happened to him. He had pneumonia. He got admitted to the hospital. From what I understand, they had to put a tube in his lung to drain out the fluid, and he's just doing all sorts of bad. And um, I haven't heard from him for about 2 days, so I hope he's all right. So if you guys are the praying type, definitely say a prayer for him. Hope everything's well for him. So gonna be flying solo today, guys. I'm actually rocking the hair today. Got done with the photo shoot just a bit ago. Pretty excited. It's pretty cold here in New Mexico though. It's let's see, it's about 30 degrees right now, so a really toasty 30 degrees. Um, so we were out there taking pictures out in the cold, and it was a good time though. So good vibes. Um, but I kind of had a I kind of had a hard time picking a topic that we could talk about today as part, the first part of our Sunday stock study. And what I came up with is reflection. So we're going into 2020, uh, rounding third right now on 2019, and I mean everyone's just reflecting back on everything that happened on the year, right? So you kind of can't help it, right? So you kind of can't help but reflect and see how things went for the year in 2019, and what you want to improve on going forward into the new year. So one thing that does drive me absolutely crazy is that they wait into a new year to make some sort of change. So the time is a man-made construct of being able to keep track, right? So I mean, if you want to make a change, you don't have to wait till a new year. You don't have to wait till a new month. You don't have to wait for anything in order to make a change. And so to see everyone say that everything's going to be different, um, next year is like, why don't you start today? If you're that adamant and sure about it, well, why don't you start your changes here today? And so that's what absolutely drives me crazy, and it's just it's just dumb in my opinion. But as part of the reflection, though, I think you do have to do an honest account of everything that you went through, your goals that you set for yourself, um, for the year, or the month, or whatever it is, and to see where you are at in your life, right? So are you progressing forward uh, from where you want to be, or are you trying to attain your goals and you're getting closer to your goals, or are you following, doing this more of the same old, and you're kind of stuck in the same boat. So um, And so that's I mean, that just kind of got me thinking. Me personally, there's a lot that happened for me this year. I mean, you know, I say for me, but also to me, right? So there was, all the drama of, doing the whole trading thing all over again, with the small account and having to do it all over again, and just, very humbling process. There's also, I made New Age Wall Street in April, and we've been open since April, Mayish time, and there's just I'm really hard on myself. So and the thing is that nothing takes as long as nothing it takes as short of time as you think it's going to. So I sit here at my desk all the time and I say like I'll be done with this in an hour, and it's never it's never just an hour. I sat down to edit a video last night, and I thought, hour and a half, 2 hours tops, to edit this video, and record it, edit it, and just have it out, sitting there waiting, and no way. I mean, I started probably about midnight, and then I didn't get done until like 4 in the morning, and that included shooting the video, editing it, making making a thumbnail, also making rendering and uploading and all that. And I thought I would be done with in a short amount of time, but I think it is you. I mean, you have to know where you've been, right, to know where you're going. Where um, so that where you don't want to be, if you want to progress forward, right? And I think too many people get really complacent with just making not necessarily excuses, but saying that it's okay, like when it's one time when something does happen, right? So, like for instance, like during New Year's time, if you go to the gym, there's a lot of New Year's resolutioners that hit the gym, right? So, but then they skip one day, right? And then they say, "Oh, I don't have to go this day," and then it snowballs, right? It snowballs into this day and this day and the next day, and then pretty soon, they're not going to the gym at all anymore. And it goes to the same like with your trading, right? So you're disciplined with your trading. You don't put a stop loss one time. And you're like, oh, it's okay. Like I don't necessarily need it. I just going to use a mental stop loss, or do something along those lines. And that one time that you don't use it, you get smacked in the face for it, and humbled for it, and after, and it may not be that that very first time you get caught or put in a bad situation, but the more times you do it, right, the more times you do it, the more likely you are to get put in a bad situation. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk about today, is just reflecting, looking, and taking a full account of everything in your life, right? People, your career, your happiness, things like that. Like and don't settle for anything. Go out and actually do the things that you want, and accomplish the goals that you have set out for yourself, and you'll have a lot more self-respect and self-confidence when you start accomplishing those little goals that you set out for yourself. Not in that you just break down that huge vision you have for the year. You break it down to a month, and then a week, and then this day. And that's what I constantly do on a daily basis now. Is the question I constantly ask myself is, what can I do right now to progress forward? What can I do right now in this moment to keep me moving forward, or to make it, any type of progress? And that's always what I do to try to get myself to keep pushing. The second thing I wanted to talk about real quick was that um, about failing. So about failure and failing. So kind of tied into reflection, and man, there's a lot of things that I certainly failed at this year, and a lot of things I learned. Like with this, I don't like to say that I'm an entrepreneur, or whatever it is, going building this room or what have you. But there was a lot of, I mean, it's hard to know what decisions and what's the most important, or what has the most priority for you, for your time, right? So I don't have anyone helping me do this. I did for a while, but for the most part. For the most part, um, I didn't have um, any help. So for me to say like this is the most important thing that I need to get done right now in this moment, and then to, to keep moving forward. But the thing is that you make decisions sometimes, and sometimes those decisions aren't the right thing, aren't the right decision, right? So the good news is that it doesn't matter. Most decisions in life, and altogether, whether it be in your job or career, or just family, your life, just anything, right? Most most decisions are able to be undone, right? So you could always change your mind and go the other way, right? There are obviously, huge decisions that are, mistakes or what have you, where you just can't come back from. So, um, but if 2019 has taught me anything, it's to fail smallly and to fail gracefully. So, um, there's no way you're going to get away from failing. So if you think that you're going to get away from failing 100% in your life, you're absolutely wrong. So I was always told you're either walking into a storm or walking out of a storm, and that's absolutely true. So you're always progressing and growing and moving forward. With that being said, you don't have to have these huge blow-ups of decisions and things like that where they affect you so significantly, right? So especially like in my business, I could say, okay, I'm going to try a little bit of this, and I'm going to put some money into this, or whatever it may be. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll go ahead and cut it. Like I'll go ahead and stop right there. If I didn't get the reaction that I was looking for, then I'm not gonna pursue that. I'm gonna look for a different way um, to move forward. So same thing with anything else. You don't have to jump in, head first into any type of decision. Most times when you make a decision, there's a way to get your feet wet in order for you not to minimize your risk, right? Same thing with your trading. So um, I was having this conversation with one of my traders the other day, where what's up, Mike? Nice to see you, dude. I was having this conversation with one of my traders the other day, where he changed his platform, the way like he has his set up on his screens from the way that he was used to, right? So, and this is something I tell brand new traders when they come with me, is that I'm not going to tell them how to set up their monitors, their screens for their charts and montage and everything like that. It's personal preference and whatever's going to make them the most successful. So uh, the way that he was doing really well, and I posted about him where he made $1,000 with a $2,000 account the first week that he went live, and he changed this, right. So he knew that it was going to help him in the long term, but in the short term, it was a learning experience for him to actually progress from. So now, with him changing his screens, right? So the layout of his charts and everything, do you think it's a good idea for him to go balls in, full buying power, or double the shares that he's usually used to, or even the shares that he's usually used to when he doesn't know where the exact button is, that he's used to having in a certain area? Same thing went for me. I freaking love Sterling. I love Sterling, the Sterling platform. I like a lot of the features with it, but all I knew was DAS. So I had to move back to DAS because, I didn't want to take the time in order and put in the expense of learning a new software platform, and lose money on it, because that's what it was going to take, is the time and the money for me to get used to it. Same thing for my trader. He lowered his size. He only traded one or two contracts with the new way that he has his screens and his monitors for his charts, and that minimized his risk, so then he could get used to his charts being the way that they are. With any decision, guys, and with all life, right? In life, business, trading, you want to make sure that anything you want to fail small. So it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail over and over again, as long as you get up. But the thing is for you to fail small and to learn when things are really small and not these huge blowups. So once you have these huge blowups, it's hard to bounce back from these those types of situations. But if you go ahead and you just have a situation where you're able to just get your feet wet in it and something, then that minimizes your risk and allows you to fail gracefully. And if you fail at it, then no big deal, no harm, no foul. You have a little scrape or whatever, you get up and you just keep pushing forward. So that's something I wanted to talk about today on the Sunday Stock Study is how to fail small. So, and that should be your goal. So, your goal is not to avoid failure or failing 100%. There's no way that you're going to avoid not having, any type of failures in any sense of your life. The goal is for you to set yourself up that you could make decisions at will very quickly to be able to act upon them and then be able to cut those for like a stop loss, right? Very small loss and fail very small. So then you could still live to be able to play the next day and keep on moving forward. So that's pretty much it for that part of what I wanted to talk about. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. Um, so just a little bit of psychology stuff here today on making sure that you avoiding huge blowups and learning how to fail gracefully and appreciating those losses. So I used to complain that my life was so hard. I've been to jail. I've been shot at. I've been homeless. I've been all these things, right? And over the last couple of weeks, I've been thinking about like if none of that stuff happened to me, I wouldn't be in the situation I am to be as persistent and um, stubborn to keep on going and pushing through the way I am now. If I had, a nice, easy life, I would just, be, entitled and expecting everything to me. But it's not like that. So because I have, had all these failures and things like that, and I had those that sense of discomfort, I know where I don't want to be, and I, how to move, forward. Now the thing is to just minimize these huge, failures and things like that, and just and be able to learn from them and push forward, and then minimize your risk in all aspects. So um, exactly, Mike. So pretty cool. Do you have any tickers you want to talk about today, Mike? So I'm pulling up my Thinkorswim, guys. It's loading, and we'll go over some tickers for the week and get about the day. I don't really have any tickers that are picked for today, so um, I'm just gonna kind of go through and look at some stuff. We'll study together, and we'll go from there. See, I trade really sentiment based and things like that too, as well, Mike. So, well, once something hits my setup or my when something hits my setup or my indicators trigger, that's how I like to trade as well. So, um, not necessarily that I don't have Amazon. Yeah, we could go over Amazon, bro. I played Amazon on Friday, and so this was my. Let me just flip over here. There we go. See, this is my screen here for Amazon. So I do believe that we get to 2,000, dude. Going into earnings and things like that, I do believe we get up to 2,000. I don't know how we'll get there. If we'll dip, down a little bit and then go up. But this move over the last 2 days is absolutely crazy. And so this profit taking that they had on Friday, this was really nice to be able to see. So what I would like for it to see it towards the open and pre-market for it to hold the close right here at 1869 or so, 1870, and for it to push back up at that in the morning. But I traded this at the open. These are 3-minute candles. I traded this at the open right here. So my plan, and I'm sorry that Fibonacci's are kind of in the way here. My plan was for it to hold the Fibonacci right here at 1880, and then also this pre-market kind of support here. So once I seen this big hammer candle, right? So this hammer candle to the upside, and it started pushing up and being eaten up into holding this 1880. I bought some contracts right here, and then I sold some at 1895, and then I could see the huge wall of sellers at 1900, and it just got slammed once it got over 1900, and it had a hard time around in that area. And so I sold the other 2 contracts at that time. I sold the other 2 contracts at that time. So, and that was it. So I mean, this is 10 points in 5 minutes or something. So that was a really nice trade. But I do believe so market depending, right? So if we look at are the futures open yet? Yeah, they're open. So the futures are up a little bit right here. So yeah, so if the futures start pushing up, and then the indices like the SPY, things like that, start pushing up to tomorrow, then I do expect Amazon to bounce and push up tomorrow as well. Tesla's a really good one, guys. I think that we're getting some profit taking here from this huge run. What is it, like $100? So 327. So if you guys were watching like the very first Sunday stock study, this is where we were talking about this little cup right here, and it was holding 327.50, and I called long rate once it started pulling away from the EMA. And I mean, I wish I swung it, right. I've been intraday trading it, but I mean, this would have been a way better trade, to hold for the whole 100-point move or whatever. That would, I mean, we're talking probably well over 6 figures. So that's pretty cool. One thing that does concern me is the actual market sentiment. So like, if we take a look at and my thing is going to go back and forth, guys. 1 second. So this is the fear and greed index here that you guys could take a look at. So I execute on DAS, and I use Thinkorswim charts, ES. So I don't know if you saw that I actually just posted a video that DAS is going to be integrated with Thinkorswim. I'm really hoping that we have like a DAS montage, and then whenever I type it into type a ticker into a DAS montage, it pulls up the chart for it as well, and then it's able to be linked together. But I mean, realistically, it kind of sounds that it's just going to be like TD Ameritrade that's being able to be traded like on a DAS platform, if that makes sense. So like, these other DAS like DAS brokers like what is it, like Centerpoint, Cobra, SureTrader used it. It's those were the brokers, right? So it'd be TD Ameritrade as a broker, and then just using DAS. So I hope it's not like that. I hope it's actually integrated so you could use the features of DAS alongside with the features of Thinkorswim. But so yeah, I'm really freaking pumped about it. Like, when my mentor sent me the the screenshots and stuff, DAS is direct access, dude. So DAS is direct access, where like and especially like if you're like with Cobra, they're not selling your order flow. So when you're placing your orders, they're actually going out into the market. So they're not putting out like huge block orders that your orders are a part of. Your orders are actually being executed in real time. They're not, sitting on them and then selling, selling on the to get the rebates from the ECNs and from the roots and things like that. So um, it's like milliseconds quicker. Now, my one of my traders actually trades on Thinkorswim, so he actually has a cash account with Thinkorswim, and this is I met with him the other day, and I was asking him about his executions, and he says they're pretty quick. So I mean, if you go into the trade, right? Oh, this one's different. Um, uh, Oh, here it is. So like right here, this is one of the best things about Thinkorswim right here is that you could actually just go to the price and then click on it, and then you see how it says buy 100 limit. So you could set the amount, obviously, right? But you could just pick the price, and then it'll put your order at that price. And so with him, with options, you know how there's quite a bit of a spread. Um, no internal routing. That doesn't make sense then because that's why they don't charge commissions anymore. So so he actually puts his orders in between the spread, so in the spread, and he gets filled right away. He doesn't put his stuff on the ask, and in theory that shouldn't happen. So in theory that his he would get just stuck there, especially if the contract strike price that he's in is illiquid. But he says that he always gets filled pretty well. So um, I'm thinking of getting a TD Ameritrade account because I need to start separating my swing trades and my swing trades with my intraday trades to clear up the because it uses the buying power. So then it kind of sucks. Like if I have a swing trade and then I can't use the buying power for my um, intraday trades. So yeah, so that would be really cool. Oh, you like using the mobile app? Yeah, dude, I really love Sterling, dude. I really like that feature on Sterling where it tells you the price where like on the chart where you got in, and and then it has like red underneath that and green above it. Yeah, so Thinkorswim still has commissions on options. So which and I mean I don't use Thinkorswim guys, so I'm probably more naive to this. Um, than other guys, but they I believe with the options, that's why he's able to get fills like that is because since he does pay commissions, it is actually being routed direct access for the options, but not the equities. So um, yeah, the Sterling. What I was saying is, so it puts you like your average, right? So your average, your share average, and it makes it green where you're in the money or whatever, and then red out of it, and it's just a cool visualization to have in the chart. And see ya, Mike. Happy New Year, bro. Thanks for coming in and chatting for a bit, bro. Come trade with us on Fridays, dude. I stream on Fridays and we trade, so come hang out on Fridays if you want to trade together, bro. So yeah, I like Sterling a lot. I like a lot of things about Sterling. I like that um, it has tabs for the charts instead of you having to type it in. So you only have to type it in once, and then it has the tabs for the charts. You only have to click on it instead of typing it in. I like that. It makes it really really quick, and then you don't have to have as many charts. You could just flip between, on the same chart between the ones you're looking at. So um, Sterling is a way nicer, and then the options, the way that you put in the options trades is way nicer too. So Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, it's whatever you're actually used to. So, I have a I have a trader. He trades on the Webull. So, and it's way different than anything else. Um, but yeah, so what I'm gonna do is just look at some. Oh, so we're looking at the fear and greed index right here. So this kind of shows the sentiment of the actual market. So right, I mean, this has been above 90 for I don't know how long now. So it says at least a week. So or at least a month, excuse me. And it just kind of shows, uh, different charts for the market there. So I think this move that we had on the SPY. So the reason why I'm showing this, the move that we've had on the SPY, is absolutely just nuts. Like it's just, I mean, we could go even further back. I mean, I remember when we were saying like, oh, we won't get over 0 day to expiration contracts, like on expiration day, like on Friday. On Friday, that's why I like to trade Amazon, is because of the gamma and the theta on it. Um, just like how I made a big move on Thursday or Friday, then the volatility increases in it because the implied volatility isn't expected to make that big of a move, and it allows you to make more money. But in the inverse of that, right? So in the inverse, if you're taking a trade and you're just sitting there and it's not moving, or it's moving really slow in your direction, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're not even making money. Yeah, so I do, but it has to be moving. It has to be freaking cooking, right? On Fridays is definitely nail and bell. Just get in for the big part of the move and then just get out, because if you're sitting there and it's just grinding and it's if it's even if it's grinding in your favor and in your direction, it's you're going to be losing money because of the theta in it. Um, but if it's actually making a sharp move in your favor, then because of the gamma, it's gonna freaking go nuts. So that's part of the reason why, if with some of the options like on Thursday, I don't think we could see them now, but like I mean they were up 3,000% or whatever on Thursday. So part of it was because for the ones that expired on Friday was because then there wasn't that much time. It was the very next day that they're expiring. There's Mr. Trade Freak himself. What up, bro? We were just talking about you, how you moving your platform and your software um, changed your whole trading style a little bit, and how you had to you know readjust and kind of trade smaller to readjust to it, and fail a little bit smaller, and so then you didn't get all crazy big blow up from it. So let's see here. Okay, so that's the Amazon that we're talking about on Friday, but man, we are pretty due for a pullback here on the SPY, guys. So you guys know, I like I kind of have a more of a bear bias in me, and especially in the small caps, or excuse me, the big caps, things tend to unwind a lot faster. So things tend to unwind faster, than them grinding up. So especially we get some panic setting in, and it's just I'm waiting for it. Like I'm obviously not dumb. I'm not gonna sit here trying to pick a top. Um, but I've been making money on the upside as well. So when the time comes, though, even if you look at this, look at my CCI right here. This is absolutely nuts. Look how freaking high this thing is right here. So, but I do believe that we might, because I mean, look at how weak this was on Friday. So we might start pulling back a little bit this week. But look how weak this was on Friday. So we'll see. So we'll see. We have Wednesday off, right? Tuesday or Wednesday off because of New Year's. So I'm gonna pull up Finviz and we'll go over some. I'm just gonna look at some tickers on there. Oh look, Charlie just messaged me, so I guess on DAS. You see me? Hey Charlie, what's up, buddy? So he said, for what it's worth, you can plot your average fill on your Thinkorswim chart if you execute through TD. So you can put a line on your chart and have labels coloring differently depending on the is price is over or under. Um, what I mean is that there is a variable declared. Yeah, so I mean, but then I have to put it in, right? I don't. If I were to execute on Thinkorswim, that would help, but I don't. That'll help for Richard if Richard wants it. But I really want to switch now. It'd just be so much easier not to have to. I mean, how many times, Richard, have we been trading within the last 2 weeks, and I bought the wrong freaking contracts to the. I bought like the other day, Charlie. I don't think I told you. I was trying to trade Tesla, but I had Netflix in my option chain, and I bought 385 fucking Netflix, dude. Like, and I got filled. I got filled for it, and I mean, Netflix was at 315 or something. Like, it wasn't even like I don't know how much it was that day, and it made a good move. And I was like, oh, cool. Like maybe they'll actually be worth something. And but I mean, I put a sell order, and no one would actually take my sell order or whatever because I was all on in Netflix at 385 instead of Tesla fucking like an idiot. Like, so the whole like putting stuff in my option chain and then having it match the stuff that's on my charts is definitely an issue. I've done that a couple times where I buy the wrong thing, the wrong. I mean, and then there's times where like just like that Netflix trade, um, I just have to let it expire. Like I just lost out on that money, so it was like I think it was like $1,200 or something, right? Right, Richard? I don't know. So, you have any other tips, Charlie? You want to share with the team? Charlie is my mentor, by the way. I call him Charlie because he's just a voice in a speaker box that talks to me. So it's like Charlie's Angels. So he's like my fairy trading father. I don't see any other tickers that I really like, guys. Do you guys trade small caps? I know a lot of people were looking at Mbot on Friday. Did anyone Benzinga Charlie? No, I don't think. No, Charlie's a made up name. Like that's not his name. I only call him Charlie, like because he's like my Charlie from Charlie's Angels. I only hear from him on a speaker. He yells at me that why didn't I wake up to trade in the morning? Why am I being lazy? And he's never not been able to look at the markets. So then I got to show him up, I gotta show him up, and I wake up on Friday and make $4 grand on Amazon. It worked though. He got me out of bed the next day. Yeah, so I highly advocate for options, especially if you're under PDT. That's how I was able to get over PDT the second time, and it is absolutely 100% better. Uh, Richard, who's commenting right here, is actually in the room, and he tried small caps from what was it, maybe an hour, and he's like, nope, never mind, forget this, and he's been doing pretty good. So I think it is a lot better, and the percentage moves that you get are a lot better. And then I mean you could only lose what you actually bought the contracts for. So um, and then there's no PDT. You don't have to worry about PDT. Um, you could trade. Your trades refresh every day. So just to go over a couple trades, a couple tickers that we went over for the last couple days, or the last couple of Sunday stock studies, the last couple of weeks. So I had said, so we're looking at Home Depot. So this is where we're, yeah, it's, I tried playing, what was the one that I tried playing the other day? And I lost some money on. I don't know if it was ITCI or which one it was, but it is, I mean, I'm all for volatility, right? Give me some volatility. But I mean, I would rather have a move like for 100 points on Amazon than 20 cents on MBOT. Like, it's stupid. Um, but we're looking at Home Depot here, guys, where I have the support, and then this is where I was calling to go long on it, and now it's just kind of channeling and making this ascending wedge type pattern right here. So we'll see that if it breaks below around like 219 or so. So the support, so 219, it's probably over, but it'd be cool if it does break out and keep on going up. So those are pretty nice trade for like $10 or whatever right here. So that worked out really well. The one I'm really upset about, and everyone makes fun of me about, is Peloton. So I wanted it to hold $30, and now it's just kind of been fading. So I'm still keeping an eye on it though. So like if we go a little bit bigger, so now this is a really heavily shorted stock, Peloton. So I kind of like this huge hammer candle right here though. Yeah, there's even one right here. So um, we'll see if it starts holding like you see these spikes right here. So let's see if it starts holding around, holding those, and then starts curling back up again. So, um, what other tickers, Richard? If you're still here. Yeah, if you could please. I've tried, bro. The vertical lines that go like this. If you could please help me out with that. That drives me freaking insane. There's nothing I could do about it. So, does anyone have any questions for technical analysis and indicators and things like that? We could go over that too if you guys want to as well. The vertical lines right here, dude. These red lines right here. Charlie's writing me in Discord, and he's saying we have to get rid of these lines. Apple, oh my god, dude. Apple has been nonstop, and then it showed weakness actually on Friday. So this is probably why the SPY was coming down as well. Roku, Tesla, Amazon. Yeah, so this I think the SPY also depends. So what is it? 4% of the SPY is actually Apple. Um, so if we start getting some pullback on Apple, we'll start seeing the SPY coming back as well. But I mean, we are definitely due for someone to start taking some profit. So um, do you guys follow uh, double click on them? It doesn't do nothing, dude. That's what you mean. Click on double click on those weird plotted lines on your wire. Yeah, so that's um I mean I'm waiting for this to pull back. If we start seeing some we need some type of news uh to get us to pull back. But I mean even like what you would think is negative news, right? We had impeachment news and everyone started buying even more. I don't It's freaking ridiculous. So yeah, this is a pretty nice doji candle right here. So maybe we do see some pullback, and then once it starts, closing maybe 1 or 2 days red, be cool to start going the other way or buy the dip if we get a chance. I like Netflix right here, guys. I liked this pullback right here. So if it holds the 326.03 right here, and then for it to continue up to 350. So that'd be cool, but it hasn't been trading like at the beginning of the year or even last year. It just doesn't trade the same anymore. So is that what you're meaning, Charlie? To double click on the line right here? Roku. Is this what you wanted to see right here, Charlie? They're for my candles, it looks like. They're for my candles. This was your old boss here. I think he's the one that gave me these, dude. But anyways, oh, Roku here. So I mean, you have this cup right here, pullback right here. So we're getting this like wedge up. So these higher lows. So it'd be cool to see this go back up as well. Oh, let me see. How do I select my cursor? Oh, there we go. Is that what it is? Yeah. So this is for my candles. Like if I were to change my candles right here, dude, to my uh the super trend candles, it doesn't do it. See? Or I mean, like this. See, but as soon as I put it to the other candles, the MFI candles, they mess up. But anyways, guys, pretty much it. Just to wrap up, so we talked about just reflection on the year and how to reflect and take it, take an account an account and everything to moving forward and how to progress forward. So and also failing small. So it's okay to fail, right? So it's okay to fail. Um, just make sure that you don't have these huge blowups, and then not just in trading. Um, like I said, most decisions are um, if winds up not being a good decision, you can always change your mind and go back and redo it. So don't be afraid to make decisions. Make decisions quickly, and then only put your neck out there so you're risking small. So and like I said, I don't really have any tickers for this week. Um, Kind of snuck up on me and didn't go over a lot of stuff today. So or over the weekend. So um, is there any other questions you guys have before we go? I'm gonna take that as a no. So speak now or forever hold you to pieces. ITCI. So are you still holding ITCI? There's my lines again. Do you see? Are you still holding your ITCI? Oh man, my nose is bleeding, guys. All right, I'm gonna have to run, guys. Nose is starting to bleed. So catch you guys later. Send me a DM if you need anything. All right.